Hey y'all, how you doing? How you doing? I hope all is good. All is well. I am ready. I hope all is good, all is well. Good morning, good afternoon, good day. I'll make it on the note. Happy Sunday Funday. How about that? Man. Right on. Yeah. Yay. And I hope all is well, y'all. As you know, depending on if you live under a rock or not, as you know it's hilarious. The whole situation is hilarious. To a degree, it's hilarious because we pick and choose. Okay? Pick and choose. Let's start with Ye. As you know, they quote unquote supposedly counseled Kanye West. My question to that is who counseled Kanye West exactly? Because last time I checked, a small percentage of us people of color don't have that type of power. Matter of fact, a lot of us don't have that type of power. How about that? Especially in the industries that he occupies. Fashion, music, shoes, fashion. I guess you would include the shoes in the fashion. Tech space. It ain't a lot of us, as far as people of color and those that occupy those spaces to pull a stunt like this. So with that being said, I'll get straight to it. I don't agree with everything that Kanye West have expressed in regards to the George Floyd situation. But I think people need to dig deep in context and don't jump the gun because they tricked us again. In some aspects, they tricked us again. The media tricked us again. What they did was they sent the message to Kanye and anybody of the likes of Kanye or what they are capable of doing. If you don't agree with what they say, if you say any type of honest critique about certain communities and they funding the situation that you in, they will shut you down. And to be honest, they proved Kanye's point. Again, one don't have to agree with everything he said, but everything he said was not completely wrong. To be clear. But they're going to take one thing, because if you notice, they only sent out the particular clips that they can use against Kanye. So the argument is about this whole thing with Adidas, right? People got to remember and backtrack. It was Kanye that said that he was leaving
in
Adidas.
2 miles, take exit 17 for Boone's Crossing.
Leaving Adidas. So all of a sudden the narrative switched where Adidas associated with Kanye. But here's the issue with that. They still got to pay him. There's reports out where apparently allegedly Adidas is going to use his designs and take his name off of it without paying that man. How was that possible? And y'all think that's cool? Just imagine if that was you. You'll be cool with that? Absolutely not. You gotta understand that the people that he's talking about occupies these spaces and has the power to shut him down. For example, you got JP Morgan. Here's the thing. A lot of the people that's coming against Kanye do not have the moral standings to say absolutely nothing. And those that do have the moral standings is completely silent. But why is that? Because they do business with people that Kanye West speak on.
In half a mile, take exit 17 for Boone's Crossing.
Only person that said something was Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons, as far as the music community, Russell Simmons was the only one that spoke up. Anybody else haven't said diddly squat.
Take exit 17.
Because they are afraid to lose their bag. But here's the thing.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Boone's Crossing.
You have industry that Hollywood industry had investigations and probably still ongoing to some aspect. It's just not on the public stage because a lot of the powerful players have access to media outlets that they own where they can kill
in half a mile, take exit 16 for long run.
They can kill a story. They can kill a story before it catches steam. They can kill a story before it catches steam. So with that being said, they can do exactly what Harvey Weinstein did. Where if he owned a publication or a media outlet, he can go to them and tell them to kill it.
Continue for half a mile.
If he knows somebody that works in that space, he can make a call.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Chesterfield Airport Road.
And tell them don't release that. Once a story is forming. So what type of integrity is that? So here's the thing. These are the same. It's a lot of the powerful individuals that benefits off blacks, pain,
turn left onto Chesterfield Airport Road.
Are the same ones that's willing to cover their own despite of their misdeeds. And that's fine.
Continue
right?
on
If
Chesterfield
that's what
Airport.
you want to do. But you want to say Alright, y'all. Anyway, I'm cooking. So, oh my God. Where do I start?
Take the next right onto Spirit of St. Louis Boulevard, then turn right onto the ramp to St. Louis.
You know what? I can go get something to eat. I can turn around. So, anyway, yeah.
In 1,000 feet, make a U-turn.
I guess my question would be to y'all.
Make a U-turn.
I mean, how mad are you really at Kanye? Only because
turn left onto
the
Wings of
reason
Hope
why
Boulevard.
I asked this is because we pick
In
and choose on
1,000
what we
feet,
want
use
to be
the
mad
second
at.
from the left lane to turn left onto Olive Street Road.
We don't have no
use the second from the left lane to turn left onto Olive Street Road,
direction.
then turn right onto Outlet Boulevard.
We ain't got no direction. You willing to cancel Kanye because of the comments that he made, but he made reference to an actual documentary. He didn't say it was true. At least my interpretation of it, I didn't take it like he was saying that it was true. But same people that can say that they're gonna support R. Kelly, despite of his behavior.
Take the next right onto Outlet Boulevard, then turn left onto Blue Valley Avenue.
It was cool with that. Now I don't agree that everything that's said about him is true. But for the overall, he do got some issues that he need to deal with.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Premium Way. In a quarter mile, turn left onto Olive Street Road. In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Premium Way.
What I'm saying is, where does the line? All right, let me finish this live, man, because this is super great. Anyway, I'm just gonna say this, man. I'm trying to be as short as I can. The first subject matter is I guess my phone keep freezing up because of the internet reception in certain areas, but everybody, the subject of the talk of the town is Kanye West. Allegedly, people deemed some of the remarks in the Drink Champ interview was deemed as anti-Semitic towards a particular community. I just put it to you like that because people shut it down even when you name a particular group, and you ain't got to say nothing bad. You can say something good. It depends on what they deem as good or deem as bad. But for the most part, people have to understand what they're dealing with. I don't think personally there's nothing wrong with people and ownership and their wealth, obtaining a certain amount of wealth, right? But anything is beyond question on how you obtain wealth, and so on and so forth, right? I just think sometimes people that have a lot of money, they can say certain things. And forget that, say or even do things, and that can be collectively, that can apply to anybody across the board. And without beyond reproach. And I'm saying this to say that I had a pleasure to be involved on a panel. I think I posted it on my wall with the legendary videographer Choke No Joke, Porter Rockefeller's historical run. He was in the music business. He allowed me on his platform, salute Choke, to talk about this various thing about Kanye. And my main message then, as I am now, is that we have to deal with Kanye in love, as you would want somebody to deal with you when you have a misstep, right? None of us is perfect. None of us is without sin. Although people are so quick to cancel people, but the problem with that is you don't have the power to do it. You can dissociate yourself, but to totally cancel somebody, meaning, play with their well-being, play with their money. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. And I feel like now you just being a bully. But here's the thing. A lot of the stuff that Kanye said is what people are afraid to say behind closed doors, and usually that stuff be said. Just keep it at a buck. Be said in barbershops amongst one another in certain circumstances. I guess somebody would consider it to be barbershop talk, but I guess it's more impactful. It could be negative for a certain group, especially if it's the truth. If it's the truth, it can be deemed negative from their perspective because you saying too much. You speaking on a lot of stuff that you may be in the know of, and it might affect their pockets, right? Overall. So before they do that, they'll get rid of you. They'll get rid of you or affect your pockets in a certain way if they can. If they not tired of you, they'll call somebody that's tied to them, that's tied to you, to shut you out, right? And then they will use their own use people against each other. And like, for example, if they come in against a black person, they're not going to do it directly. They're not going to put their name on it and say, well, this is coming from this group to shut you down. What they're going to do, they're going to use one of y'all own. So in the case of Kanye West, instead of using somebody from that community that deemed him anti-Semitic, they're going to use another black person to come at Kanye West, so that way that their hands can be hands can't be dirty. What do I mean by that? Prime example, Diddy. Diddy is Clive Davis. It's Clive Davis' little buddy. And Diddy has always been one to do what it takes to stay at the top. Even if that means, you know what I'm saying, by any means necessary. I'll put it to you like that. Don't you think it's kind of strange that Diddy wasn't deemed to be a billionaire until now? They got an article where they deemed him as a billionaire all of a sudden after they canceled Kanye West's interview on Drink Champs. But his interview on Drink Champs is deemed to be the most viewed in Drink Champs history, or Revolt as a whole, right? Supposedly he's supposed to be the CEO of Revolt. But just like anything else, a lot of these cats is funded by people from other groups. And with that being said, in order for you to continue to get a certain amount of money and for you to continue to be in, you have to shut your mouth about certain things. You can't talk about certain things. Or they're going to shut you down, or they're going to take away your toys. Can we be fair here? The stuff that Kanye is speaking on has been done in the music business for the longest time. You have certain groups that have owned labels, have owned the masters of people of color's life rights, as well as their life works. And they never reap the appropriate benefits off their own works. And yet and still, their families are continue to be well fed for generations to come off people of color hard works. Kanye pulled the wool over, allowed you to be behind the curtain, shall I say. Allowed you to be behind the curtain. Yep. 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 So with that being said, here's I would say this. I don't agree with everything that Kanye West says, but I think that it's very important for us to be a critical thinker and do your research and ask questions if you don't understand. Because I think it's dangerous to completely erase a person, completely do away with a person. And like somebody made a example about Martin Luther King. I mean, it wasn't Martin Luther King, it was Malcolm X. If we did away with Malcolm X as Detroit Red and then allow him to grow as a person and evolve, he wouldn't have never became Malcolm X. So I'm saying the same thing for Kanye. Deal with Kanye in love. And I think our problem as a people, as far as black people concerned, I'm asking for the same grace to be given to Kanye that you would want to receive if the shoe was on the other foot. I'm asking that you love on him and continue to have the conversation with your people to get better understanding on where he was going with certain statements. Sure, he may have had a few missteps. I think we all have at certain points in our life had missteps, right? But with that being said, that don't mean that a person has the right or the power to keep us, to remove us just because of it, or we are not allowed to get a second chance on life. Regardless, it might be as far as an opportunity bad enough. Us as a people rarely have any opportunities. If not, opportunities is a lot better. But remember, unless we are in control of it, as they say, we have to play a game or we have to play along. A lot of people don't oppose you as a threat when you don't play along. And Kanye is not one of those guys that is willing to play along. He play enough to get in, but once he get in and he learn the law of the land and get to a point where he's up, he's gonna be a force to deal with. And I think Kanye, like he said, the guys like Kanye, guys like Dame, certain people that tell the truth unfiltered, they can't do business with people like that because of the fact they feel like they're a threat, like they cannot control them. It's about control. It was never about the money when it comes to Kanye. They was trying to shut him up. I can't say they was completely successful at it, but he did make statements recently as far as apologizing for the George Floyd situation. But he clarified even more, like, he was saying that was what was put out there, not necessarily what he agreed that necessarily happened. Now, the whole knee on the neck situation was irresponsible because, as you can see, according to the looking at the footage, is blatant. So I don't agree with him on that statement. But there is some situations where other ethnic groups or other groups have benefited quite well off of blacks and continue to do so and not held accountable for it. And I've ran across a couple of one of the, if I can get the whole interview of the recent Kanye West comment, I cannot find it. I can only, Ben X posted like a portion of it. I wish he had the whole thing about Kanye, apologizing to blacks in regards to the way he expressed himself in regards to the George Floyd thing. I think that is a conversation that have to be made, and I think it's not doing anybody a good service, if you don't allow him hit the platform to speak his mind freely as you would if you was talking about us. But here's the thing. Here's what's funny. A lot of those people that allowed Kanye West to speak, right, they was financially beneficial. They financially benefited from the interviews. And that also flies in the face of the theory of, people and their feelings is selective. It's subjective. And reason why I say that, the same groups or people that have either text them behind the scenes, or groups that have some type of hand in some of the companies that he have dealt with or associate himself with, they have financially benefited from Kanye. And honestly, he's benefited from them as well because he provided a service. But that service wasn't one to, he didn't kill nobody. Did he disrespect anybody when he made Adidas a line of shoes or design clothing or design prototypes with certain people? I think he designed one of D Rose series of shoes. I think he did like 1 or 2 pair, I think, for D Rose. But like I say, man, I just think it's interesting. And I think if you notice, Jay hasn't came out and said nothing. Dame said something, but he said something that was very smart. He was like, if y'all say Kanye, which he suggested, if they said Kanye have certain things going on with him as far as his mental health, then y'all should stop interviewing him. Absolutely correct. But the reason why is because they trying to get the man, they trying to allow the man to cook, hoping that he say something that they can use. And like I said, as far as like Nori concerned, the Drink Champs, I just think Nori is full of it. I think Nori is full of it. I think that Puffy Combs is full of it too. He's disingenuous because the reason why he contacted Kanye, not because he cared about Kanye necessarily. He cared about the people that he's in bed with financially. And he knows any type of association with Kanye, if, depending on what he say, he's going to be told not to disassociate himself from Kanye. All this brother love stuff is bullshit. Only when it's beneficial to him. And if anybody don't understand that, his history, his track record speak for itself. And I'm talking about Puff. Puff knew Kanye was saying shit leading up to him being on Drink Champs. Right? Because reason why is because he texts back and forth with Kanye. Somebody sent him and Kanye called him out in the text like, I know who sent you and who you in business with, in so many words. They put you up to talk to me. You the feds. Only segue, we have an interview with the legendary Gene Deal that addresses that. where somebody asked him a question about Kanye's comments in regards to referencing Puff as the feds. And Gene's response was, it was a conversation that actually Kirk Burroughs, which is also a founder of Bad Boy, former founder of Bad Boy, alleges that Puffy gave documents to the feds on death row and have reported to him and Jimmy Iovine having conversations, and he reported some stuff to the feds. He basically reported stuff to the feds on allegedly feds on death row, Murder Inc., as well as Jay Prince. I can see that. But see, the person that they leave out, Professor Griff have addressed this before. He had an interview a long time ago where he said it was 4 people. It was actually 4 people that was getting together to put $30 million a piece up to start a black distribution company. Irv Gotti, Suge Knight, Jay Prince, and actually Dame Dash was the 4th person. He alleges that, I guess maybe from the Rockefeller standpoint, Jay had something to do with going to the higher ups, because he was the first person to be elevated as a billionaire soon after. Now, what I find to be interesting and coincidental that Puff did what he did to Kanye in regards to the Drink Champ interview. You gotta remember, Revolt is his channel. So by him giving Kanye a warning and all this type of crap, supposedly, they let Kanye on Drink Champs anyway. And it took off, and they knew that. They benefited from it. And some, they alleging that the Drink Champs deleted the interview. Others say it is still there, but it's private. But the bottom line is, everybody has, that most of the big wigs that have stepped out and said something indirectly, they all got something in common. They benefited from Kanye West financially. Piers Morgan was on he was on Piers Morgan's show. Nobody watches Piers Morgan like that. And yet they still put Kanye West on there, despite of the fact of him being on Drink Champs. Not that I don't know if they know in London what Drink Champs represent or not, but the bottom line is, they let him go on there and cook, knowing that it's going to be controversial, knowing to their mind, to their perspective. And they know that that boy is going to be lit. Like, meaning a lot of people going to go on there and look, despite if you agree or disagree. It's going to have eyes on that show. It already went over 5 million, or close to 5 million views. They said the same thing with this recent interview with Kanye West. I think it went over 3 million views within a day or something like that. It's probably more than that now. But you got to remember, there's other people that downloaded it before they took it off, and they was posting it. So you got to count all them views too. And same thing with Adidas. Adidas, no. And I addressed this too. Everybody knows. Russell addressed it too. Before Kanye, Adidas was saved by Run DMC. They had an exclusive deal with Run DMC where they provided them a shoe. They made a song, My Adidas. A lot of people It got so big to the point that they got their own shoe. They got some type of percentage. And Russell Simmons speak on how Adidas was going bankrupt until Run DMC made the song My Adidas. And it brought attention to the company of Adidas as a whole. Black people as always sold seeds into other people's businesses and never really fully benefited to the capability that they should. What Jordan did for Nike was absolutely unbelievable. And even to this day, they've grown to be $1 billion, more than billion. I mean, probably over 50 billion, more, 100 billion or more company now. But at the time when Jordan got with them, they were simply just a running shoe. They weren't making basketball, tennis shoes. They was not in the business. They never gave anybody a signature shoe. Jordan was the first. It was alleged that there was other stars before Jordan, like Magic being one of them, that they could have signed or offered Magic a signature shoe, and Magic didn't take it. Phil Knight allegedly offered Magic Johnson a signature shoe, but in exchange, instead of money, he was going to give him stock. They said if Magic would have been offered stock and he would have took it, he'd been worth $10 billion right now. He would have been worth more than Michael Jordan right now because he got stock. Jordan was offered money. He wasn't offered no stock, to what we understand. Because if that was the case, he would have took it. But then again, he may have been offered that and took money instead. But if I'm guessing correctly, again, if Nike wasn't all that when Jordan got there, I would think that they probably couldn't afford to give him no money, the money that he deserved. I mean, the stock, could have offered him stock, but he didn't take it. And that would be stupid on his part as well. But I digress. Because he would have been worth more than what he getting. I would say it's a safe bet that Jordan saved Nike too. Same way I feel like Kanye is repeating what his predecessors did before him in Run DMC, making Adidas relevant again. Nobody talks about Adidas in the same light as Nike. Let's be clear. So with that being said, Kanye was the best thing that happened to Adidas in this modern day era. If you can agree. Rather, if you like the Yeezys or the product in regards to Kanye West, the bottom line is they made them a whole lot of money. And continue to do so. And guess what? The drive on Adidas, as far as the Yeezys concerned, they're going to get sold out. Or they're going to stop mass producing the Adidas Yeezys. I'll believe it when I see it. Because you can put out a whole lot of publications, but your actions speak louder than words. Yeah. But here's the thing. People say Kanye put a whole group, or the way he worded, like he was coming after an old group or attacking an old group. He should have named people specifically. He did. In certain interviews, he did. But people didn't catch it. But I digress. The bottom line is this. Even if you were to name people specifically, what does that really mean? If they from a particular community that's armed with riches and power, Even if you name one and be specific with one, you got a problem with one. Their attitude on the other end is, if you got a problem with one of us, you got a problem with all of us. Is what people fail to realize. Even if he named specific people he got a problem with, he still lose. Just as Dame. He called out Pacific people that screwed them over and came between him and Jay. So don't tell me it don't happen. Leo Cohen, I believe, is from that community. I believe. And a certain community. So with that being said, what did he do? He helped create 300. The label 300. He said in an interview that he claimed that he looks at the talent. When he was grilled about putting a lot of music out with artists that talks about drugs and all that type of stuff, he danced around it. But here's the thing. He benefited from it financially. They went on to sell their share ownership of 300 for $400 million. So Thugger was over there at 300. Thugger was over there at 300. The Migos was over there at 300. I think Rich the Kid. Mega Stallion Nas over there at 300. They had a stable artists over there. But when Charlamagne grilled him about it a long time ago, he danced around it. It is exactly what Dame Dash spoke on. They get paid off our pain, and it's all right, it's cool. But when we start questioning what is being done by us from particular communities, it's a problem. It's deemed as hate speech. If you speak about the government, you speak about certain communities, especially from a historical standpoint, it's getting to the point that people can just say and do anything without being questioned. You can't question nothing. If somebody lying on you or jam you up, you don't have the right to speak up for yourself or stand up for yourself. And like I say, I don't even agree with everything that Trump say. But the thing is, people of his community was threatened by the fact on the way, like somebody pointed out, the way he obtained the presidency. But again, the stuff that he spewed at times, I can't necessarily say his family have a history of misdeeds towards the black community as far as the housing community, illegal practices in regards to that. So there's a whole lot of stuff that we can get into. But you have people that's from our community that have completely sold out. And they willing to maintain their wealth for the greater good of themselves. If that means sacrificing their own. And my thing is, you can agree with your brother or sister. We can agree to disagree, but we don't have to be disagreeable. And I think that we have to, if you haven't learned it, you have to Learn what forgiveness really means. Learn what love look like. Learn what being redeemed look like. Because like I said, there's a lot of people that you deem as bad apples offer way more substance to the table than people that's perceived to be spotless as far as bad deeds concerned, or perceived to be perfect. Every community has their flaws, and I mean every. The difference is, as they say, the victor goes the spoils. Person that's the victor has the power to change or manipulate things or bend things in such a way where it makes them look a certain way in a certain light. Some people can't be bought off. Some people can't refuse to lay down until certain things get done. But if you notice, those that have spoken out or had a voice, they put them down. And I don't mean verbally, meaning they mysteriously lost their life. It's a pattern. Some people brought up the possibility in certain contracts, in certain industries, where allegedly they have what they call a death clause in your contract. My question is, what does that mean? What is that about? Are you getting insurance policies off a payout on people that die that might be signed to you contractually, along with all their masters, or their likeness? It just make you think. Sorry, y'all. I'm here. Lord. Just make you think. It make you think, man. It make you think on some real shit. It make you think. What this world coming through, man, is getting to the point that if you speak against certain powers that be, you out of here. I've always believed that, depending on where you at. Yeah, depending on where you at, man. Yup, depending on where you at. Yup. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to see this through. I ain't going to jump the gun and say I give up on Kanye.
Take the next right onto Outlet Boulevard, then turn right onto Brasher Street. Turn right onto
My question would be to that is, what if certain people that love me decide to give up on me? Then what? You know what I'm saying? So these things gotta be held accountable. These things have to be taken in consideration. Oh yeah. I say don't give up on the brother yet. And I think that what we need to do, as we did in the past, learn from our past, is that, hey, when we have a problem within our own, we deal with that internally. It's like the old saying say, I can talk about my brother. You can't do that. And that's the same thing can be said in other communities. They don't allow no outside people to meddle in their business when one of their brothers get caught up in some bullshit, or make the group look bad, or be under investigated, put them under investigation in any type of way. These are things you got to take in consideration, and we need to start taking notes. Meaning that we got to start doing this among our own, among each other. Yeah. I mean, salute to Russell, at least adding to the conversation. Russell Simmons. Again, a lot of people came against him too. They try to cancel Russell too. And in some aspects, people feel like he was canceled. But again, that particular community that Kanye may allegedly been spoke about it, same community that still associate with Russell. Russell put that on the record that he had friends in that community. They gave him a call in regards to Kanye West. Go figure. So what are you saying to us? Are you telling us that everybody is supposed to just cut Kanye off and leave him alone because of what he said, instead of having a conversation with him and building and get some understanding and actually resolving the issues that he might have issue with? He might have legitimate issues. He might have legitimate points that have never been put out there for the masses, because unlike him, other people just scared to say something about it. They scared. Once you get to a point, you might get a visit from a particular power that be, to a warning like, hey, you shouldn't be talking like this. Now, why is that? Why they saying that? It's because they saying that shit because of the fact that you might struck a nerve. You had to strike a nerve, and you might be digging too deep, where you might be possibly exposing some shit. Because if they didn't feel like it was a threat, they wouldn't even called you. Same thing for Puff. They ain't gonna call him. They gonna send somebody that they got their thumb on to talk to him. And Puffy is the perfect guy for the job. Why? Because he been protected for a long time. He has, and he's benefited from the same exact thing that Kanye called out in regards to how blacks are being treated in the music business, Hollywood. Everything he said in regards to that has merit. But depending on the group, you ain't supposed to talk about that. But my thing is, if the shoe was on the other foot and the black community was guilty for certain things, they wouldn't hesitate to speak on it. They will not hesitate to speak on it, not one bit. They would not hesitate. They won't hesitate, man. So much so that they will remove a... Yeah, man. Yeah, y'all. We're getting to the point that free speech is no longer free speech. But to be honest, is it really free speech? Honestly, if you are persecuted for something that you believe in or certain stuff that you might stand up and say, for the most part, I just don't believe. I mean, people got to understand too, some people say it's different. I don't think it's too different, but they called Oprah Winfrey anti-Semitic. They called Martin Luther King anti-Semitic. Louis Farrakhan, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey. They had a whole lot of people being called anti-Semitic. Hello?
Welcome to Lion's Choice. Would you like to try our vegetarian meatball subs today?
I take the smoke, number 2, the smoke ham. You know what? I take the number 3, the toasted turkey with cheese on it. And then I like the fries to be curly. And then we get a strawberry soda. Oh dang it. Let me get a Sprite instead. But man, y'all gotta love on Ye and keep him in your prayers, because he's gonna need it. He's definitely gonna need it. Where is this piece of place he talking about? Russell Simmons spoke up for Kanye, and he had got a call from somebody in regards to questioning him on his stance on sticking up for Kanye, which is interesting to me for the most part. Beside that, you got trying to think. As I told you, Dame, they interviewed Dame, and they asked Dame about it, and Dame said that if people feel that he's not mentally there, they should stop interviewing. But the problem with that is they not, because they financially benefiting off Ye. So I question that, call that into question too. Like, hey, do you really got love for Ye to where you can pull him to the side and holler at him? Because that's what he need. He needs somebody to holler at him, like on some serious shit. So yeah. And just love on him, man. Just tell him, you know, you can always try to correct or have a conversation to share information in love without turning down. But what is turned down really, if you telling me the truth about some things that I'm doing, now I may not like it, but that still don't take away the fact that if it's the truth, then what? You know what I'm saying? So it make you think. Really makes you think, I can tell you that. Man, where is this piece of place? Oh my goodness. There's a few people that's from that community that spoke out in regards to things that has happened or happened in the community that that agree with Kanye, which I think is interesting. So I'm waiting to see what the next shoe drop, see where this goes. Professor Grill spoke about it, and he said that share his experiences on what happened to PE when they said certain things, or was deemed an anti-Semite too as well. Accused of being said so we're gonna see. But look up Professor Grip. Professor Grip talks about this. This is some interesting shit, y'all. Buckle up. You're gonna be down for a bumpy ride. Oh, man. I'm finna pull over, y'all. Y'all, you do this. This shit is getting ridiculous. Alright. What's up, bro? I'm cooking, y'all, so sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get this food. Trying to do this pod, man. We got a pod to do today. And it's gonna be some interesting shit. Just buckle up, y'all. Buckle up. Trying to finish my cigar, but y'all.
In 1,000 feet, make a
Saying make a U-turn. Okay. Well, yeah, man. It's just make you think,
make a
y'all.
U-turn.
All the people that you would deem to be has a voice in hip hop.
In a quarter mile, make a U.
Like I said, if you notice people that have some type of power, or the same ones that protect the buffoonery that goes on in their industry for money purposes and control. You have reports out there where it was sex rings in regards to pedophilia in
Continue on
Hollywood.
Chesterfield Airport Road for half a mile.
In Hollywood, that don't get shut down the way Kanye did. A lot of some of the stuff that Kanye have said on the record, it touched some nerves, all right. But it just proves this point. It proved this point that some people.
In a quarter mile, turn right.
A lot of times you may not be saying the wrong thing. You might be saying something right. A lot of times it just depends on who you saying it about. That's the thing.
Take the second right, then turn left.
Yep. So I'll be back, y'all. I will be back. We'll be back, y'all. We'll be back. We'll be back, y'all. And continue. See, we'll be back. Hold on, y'all. I'll be back. I'm here. I'm back, y'all. I'm back. Sorry, y'all. I'm back. I'm back, y'all. So, make a long story short. Oh, man. But, and some is definitely not. And I'm not saying, again, where I draw the line at is the moral component of it all. Like, okay, you come at Kanye West. Some things he may have misspoke. And I think you have to follow his statements with a question and give the man an opportunity to clarify himself. If he didn't quite clarify it in the best way possible, so you have Charlemagne the God that suggested that Kanye West, they should, do bodily harm to Kanye West in so many words. Is that acceptable? Absolutely not. Ain't this the same guy that made some missteps when he was younger in regarding to a young lady possibly being taken advantage of? Why come the community and bail out on him? I asked that question. They didn't bail out. They didn't bail out on him. I'm confused. I'm confused. I'm confused, man. Community didn't bail out on him, where he was accused of rape. Nobody didn't bail out on him, and I'm sure if somebody would have did him exactly how Kanye was being done now, how would he take that? Like I said, man, some of these people just don't have no moral standings. Don't have much moral standings to go on, to do all the talking in regards against Kanye West. Same thing for J.P. Morgan. Then they have some history as far as with benefiting off slavery. J.P. Morgan. Yeah, that J.P. Morgan. Yep. That's why I say you don't have no moral standings. Same can be said with the NBA. NBA has they history too, regardless to how they treat blacks in the past and even now, in regards to certain when they did you said that does this only apply to that community or all communities? And I think it's selective. The reason why I say that is because Chris Jackson, Abdul Rauf, aka Abdul Rauf, believed what he believed, and they got him up out the league. They blackballed that man. But you think that's acceptable? No, it ain't acceptable. What about Craig Hodges? Same thing. Muslim belief, they got him up out of there. NBA. So NBA has they demons too. I'm saying that to say none of us is perfect. Some might have more than others, but the most part we have things that we have to work on overall. To suggest that we don't and act as if we don't is bullshit. It's bullshit. You know and I know it's bullshit. So I'm saying that to say, pray for Kanye. and have the conversation. Don't just shun them out. Cause just think about it. Put yourself in your shoes. If you misstep, you may have did a zillion things good, and you may have had a misstep, or may have said something wrong one time or several times. We are not God, so stop playing as if we are God, and we usurp the universe power on how we should and should govern one another. This whole thing of people having money and having influence gives them the right to cancel or remove people, but when they do things, it's for the greater good of all. They the judge and the jury because they got more money than you. That don't necessarily make them right, morally right. Some people fund wars and they make wars simply because they want other people's materials. They plunder other people's countries, all under the banner of what's right and what's good, as they see fit it being good, not necessarily logically or historically good, to their benefit after they got what they got. All as the sad guru said it best. He said, when you in political office, you for wars, but when you out, you against it. Saying that to say, blood is on your hands too. One can say blacks share responsibility in the slaves as a whole too. As my cousin put it, historically, we sold our own people out, which I knew before he said it, but he's absolutely spot on. We sold our own people out to begin with. That's how they was able to get over there and infiltrate our countries and steal our memories and our culture, take our culture away from us and put on a culture that they press on us as a people. If you in captivity in some instances or someone's over you, they're gonna press their beliefs on you. You think that's right? Nah, it's not right. Guess what? It's gonna be justified, and history gonna be changed and gonna be altered to benefit the victor. Bottom line. So Charlemagne is not beyond reproach. None of us is. Puffy Combs is. Any community is not beyond reproach, including ours. Meaning that we can be within question about certain practices that we take on or allow to be forced upon us. So it's a lot of things to be left to interpret. I just say we gotta love on one another, and we do have to have those hard conversations, and in some instances put ourselves in positions to demand change. And I think that it's always going to be the person that have benefited for the longest is not going to be happy. They're never going to be happy. When you doing things good, you moving in the right, you're going to have people that's not going to like you. Unfortunately, even if you're doing something good, they can do a smear campaign. They can try to make up some things on you. But it's up to you to allow it to stand. Allow it to stick if you play into it. So, we got to learn from the lessons from Professor Griff, Russell Simmons, those before us in the music industry, Muhammad Ali, rather be sports, music, the political realm, anybody, organizations, Black Panthers, you have Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, all political groups, ethnic groups, religious groups, so on and so forth, we have to learn. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way we'll be able to do better. We got to be open to other people's, his history in the sense of learning from it, not necessarily repeating it. But my perspective is simply this: we gotta love on our brother Kanye, and we gotta stand in the gap for him to correct him and have hard conversations. It's just like being the OG and you talking to the youngsters and trying to steer them right. It's the same thing, same concept. Only thing is, as one put it, how can you have a conversation with somebody that's worth so much money? But here's the thing, they got to be willing and open to it. And as he put it in a recent interview, God allowed things to happen to humble him, to bring him back to, as far as with the whole money talk thing. And that's good, though, that he acknowledged that, but also, too, as God corrects Kanye, he's going to correct all the people that have done him wrong, too, that may have wronged him. They're going to get corrected, too, because here's the thing, they benefiting off this man, so he can't be that bad if you're willing to use him. It's the same thing with us as a people. So you say we no good, so-and-so people, that, we can't read, we can't write, we ain't smart. This, we talk about slaves and this, that, and the third. But those that participate and benefited financially from slaves, they have no problem with them doing the labor that they wouldn't do, but not only that, take care of their kids, breastfeed their kids, feed their kids, make their kids go to school, prepare their meals, wash their clothes, bathe them, treat them as family, and even sleep with our women and made kids by our women. But yet and still, we the last on the totem pole. And we supposed to be this bad people. And like I said before, I said again, we probably the most forgiving people. And I think it's more or less certain people know that they fucked up with us and continue to do wrong and has not been yet held accountable for it. And moving on a point of guilt and even threatened by the fact of us in some spaces moving up in fear of us one day returning a favor that they put us through. But here's the kicker. If we wanted to do that, we would have been done it. They just tell you what type of people we are. We're not that. Just because you that way, we not that way. That don't mean we that way. So, just like a liar, they got to do everything they got to do to continue to lie, to gain an advantage. But at some point, man, those that are supposed to rise, cream of the crop is going to rise. And like I said, I just feel like it's a teachable moment. And I think what Kanye overall, the universe is using Kanye too, to have that conversation, to bridge the gap, talk about some things or concerns in our community that we might have with other groups that have been scared to be said due to financial repercussions, as you see with Kanye. Like I said, with certain people, I think certain people are muted behind the scenes or had a conversation or prompt or nudged. Hey, it's not good for you to talk about it. Why is it not good for us to talk about it? Is it because of the truth that might be exposed, or the person saying something wrong? It's one or the other. Meaning it might expose you because you participate in these practices. It's just a thought, because some people do come to you like that. I don't think that's good because they got a benefit. They got beneficial invested and is benefited It's benefiting off the various things that you might be speaking against. It's just a thought, man. It make you think. But on that note, man, love is love, man. Y'all have a good day. And we can have this more in-depth conversation, I swear. We can go on and on and on. But I just say, just think. Have critical thinking. If you don't understand, ask questions to get an understanding. And don't jump the gun. Don't let them trick you. Don't let the media trick you. Because there's a lot of stuff being said in the media get purposely left out. History have told this again and again. They've said things about Pac, allegedly said, oh, he raped, and in reality, when you read the transcripts and why he really was charged, it's not a funny matter, but it's definitely one that make you think like, oh, you gotta axe the grind. When you get sent to jail, 5-year sentence, inappropriately touching the buttocks. I didn't even know that was a charge. With somebody that you was consensual with and has been consensual with. But you gotta look at the paper trail. His relationship with the government, relationship for law enforcement, so on and so forth. There's always been an axe to grind. If you one that beat charges, that shot off duty cops, you don't think they got an axe to grind against you? To them, they look at it like it's thumbing your nose. Stay in your place, nigga. That's the attitude without saying it. This is no different. You talking too much, Kanye. Stay in your place, nigga. They put him in his place. But the question is he gonna stay there? Can they stay there? Do they have the power to maintain this? Because this can only go so long. As the truth keep coming out and certain individuals have spoken on his behalf, they did it to Dave Chappelle. Without him even calling the group out. But they did the same stuff they did to Kanye. They did it to Dave too. So, and he beat them in their own game. So, there you have it, man. Alright, I'm out. Peace. Love is love. Happy Funday Sunday. We good. Out.